Some movies arrive with a wave of hype and disappear just as quickly, but Mary Poppins did the opposite. When debuted, it blended musical theater, animation, and live-action filmmaking in ways that changed family entertainment forever. The film turned Julie Andrews into a star and earned a stunning 13 Academy Award nominations. Yet behind all that movie magic was a story of persistence, creative battles, and one man's refusal to give up. What most fans don't realize is just how close this beloved classic came to never being made at all. Number 1. A 20-year quest for rights. For more than 2 decades, one man refused to take no for an answer. Walt Disney first approached author P.L. Travers in the early 1940s, hoping to adapt her beloved book series about a magical nanny. But Travers was fiercely protective of her creation and rejected his offers repeatedly, fearing Hollywood would strip away the heart of her stories and turn them into something unrecognizable. Year after year, Disney kept trying. He sent letters, made phone calls, and never stopped pursuing the rights. Travers remained skeptical, particularly of animation and what she saw as overly sentimental storytelling. But Disney's persistence eventually wore her down, and by the late 1950s, she finally agreed to negotiate, though reluctantly and with significant reservations about the entire process. The deal came with strict conditions. Travers demanded script approval and insisted on being involved in the creative process every step of the way. She flew to Los Angeles to work directly with the filmmakers, setting the stage for what would become a tense but ultimately historic collaboration. Without those 20 years of pursuit, the film that enchanted generations might never have existed at all. Number 2. Travers hated the film's tone. Getting the rights was only half the battle. Once production began, P.L. Travers clashed constantly with the creative team over the direction of the adaptation. She envisioned a sharper, more serious Mary Poppins, while the filmmakers leaned into whimsy, humor, and fantastical musical numbers that she found distasteful and contrary to her original intent. Travers particularly despised the animated sequences, feeling they cheapened her literary creation. She also objected to many of the songs and what she considered an overly sweet portrayal of her iconic character. Despite her contractual involvement, many of her notes were ignored or overruled as production moved forward, leaving her increasingly frustrated and alienated from the project. When Travers attended the premiere in 1964, she reportedly wept, and not from joy. She later spoke openly about her disappointment, calling the film a betrayal of her vision. Ironically, audiences around the world embraced everything she disliked, turning the movie into one of the most beloved family films ever made. Her dissatisfaction became one of Hollywood's most fascinating and enduring creative conflicts. Number 3. Disney's daughters sparked it. Long before any studio meetings or contract negotiations, the spark for this project came from a simple bedtime ritual. Walt Disney's daughters, Diane and Sharon, fell in love with the Mary Poppins books during their childhood. They begged their father to turn the stories into a movie, and he made them a promise he fully intended to keep no matter how long it took. That promise fueled Disney's determination through years of rejection from P.L. Travers. Even when the author repeatedly declined his offers, he never abandoned the idea or considered giving up. His daughters had planted a seed that grew into an obsession, blending personal motivation with professional ambition in a way that defined the project from the very start. This family connection added emotional weight to the entire production. Disney wasn't just chasing another hit, he was fulfilling a vow made to his own children years earlier. That deeply personal investment showed in every frame of the finished film, helping transform a simple adaptation into something truly magical that would resonate with families for generations to come. Number 4. Filmed entirely in California. Every cobblestone street, every rooftop, and every charming London park in the film was actually built thousands of miles from England. The entire production was shot on sound stages at the Walt Disney Studios in Burbank, California. Not a single frame was filmed in the United Kingdom, despite the story being set entirely in Edwardian London during the early 20th century. Production designers worked tirelessly to recreate the look and feel of early 1900s England with remarkable precision. They constructed elaborate sets featuring Cherry Tree Lane, the Banks family home, and the iconic rooftop sequences. Painted backdrops and forced perspective techniques helped sell the illusion of a sprawling city that existed only within studio walls. The craftsmanship was so convincing that many viewers assumed the film was shot on location in actual British streets and parks. This approach gave filmmakers complete control over lighting, weather, and logistics while allowing seamless integration of the groundbreaking visual effects. It stands as a testament to old Hollywood's ability to build entire worlds from scratch using nothing but imagination and skill. Number 5. Andrews' first major film role. Before becoming a silver screen icon, Julie Andrews was already a Broadway sensation with a remarkable stage career. She had originated the role of Eliza Doolittle in My Fair Lady and captivated theater audiences with her stunning 4-octave voice. But when it came to movies, she was virtually unknown, having never landed a significant film role despite her theatrical success. Walt Disney changed everything when he saw Andrews perform on stage in person. He recognized her extraordinary talent and knew immediately that she was his Mary Poppins. Despite her complete lack of film experience, he offered her the starring role, betting the entire production on an untested movie actress who had never carried a major picture. That gamble paid off spectacularly. Andrews delivered a performance that earned her the Academy Award for Best Actress, beating out Audrey Hepburn's portrayal of Eliza Doolittle in the film version of My Fair Lady. The victory was particularly sweet, given that Andrews had been passed over for that same role she created on stage. One film transformed her into a Hollywood legend practically overnight. Number 6. Production delayed for Andrews. When Julie Andrews was cast in the lead role, filming was set to begin on a tight schedule. But those plans changed dramatically when Andrews revealed she was pregnant. Rather than recast the part and move forward with a different actress, Walt Disney made the remarkable decision to delay the entire production until she was ready to work again, refusing to consider any alternatives. This was not a small commitment. Postponing a major studio picture meant rescheduling crew members, holding sets, and absorbing significant financial costs that mounted with each passing week. But Disney believed so strongly in Andrews that he considered no other option acceptable. He had found his perfect Mary Poppins, and he was willing to wait as long as necessary to bring his vision to life with her at the center of everything. The delay ultimately proved to be the right call. Andrews brought an irreplaceable quality to the role that justified every day of waiting and every dollar spent on holding the production together. Her grace, vocal ability, and natural screen presence became the heart of the entire film. Disney's patience demonstrated just how crucial casting the right person can be, even when it means putting an entire major motion picture on hold for many months. Number 7. A creative couple on set. Behind the camera, a unique creative partnership was unfolding that most audiences never knew about. Julie Andrews' husband at the time, Tony Walton, was hired to work on the film's costume and set design. This meant the leading lady and one of the key visual artists were married, collaborating professionally, while navigating their personal relationship during a demanding and high-pressure production schedule. Walton's contributions helped define the movie's distinctive visual identity in ways that still resonate today. He designed many of the memorable costumes that brought Edwardian London to life with elegance and charm. His artistic sensibility complemented the whimsical tone the filmmakers were striving for, adding layers of authenticity and style that elevated every scene he touched throughout the entire production process. Working together on such an ambitious project could have created tension, but the couple maintained their professionalism throughout filming without any reported conflicts. Their collaboration resulted in a cohesive artistic vision that blended performance and design seamlessly on screen. It remains one of Hollywood's more unusual behind-the-scenes stories, where personal and professional lives intertwined to create something genuinely magical and visually unforgettable for audiences worldwide. Number 8. Van Dyke's 2 roles. Most viewers remember Dick Van Dyke as Bert, the cheerful chimney sweep who dances across rooftops and befriends the bank's children with his infectious enthusiasm. But fewer people realize that Van Dyke actually played 2 completely different characters in the same film. Hidden beneath heavy prosthetic makeup, he also portrayed Mr. Dawes Sr., the elderly and frail chairman of the bank where Mr. Banks works. The transformation was remarkable and fooled nearly everyone. Van Dyke spent hours in the makeup chair to become the ancient, shuffling banker who appears in several key scenes throughout the movie. His voice, mannerisms, and physicality were so different from Bert that audiences had no idea they were watching the same performer bring both characters to life with such distinct energy and completely opposite personalities. Van Dyke reportedly paid the studio for the privilege of playing the second role, wanting the creative challenge of disappearing into such a different character entirely. The dual casting added an extra layer of charm to the production that most fans only discovered years later when The Secret became more widely known and discussed. It showcases Van Dyke's remarkable versatility and his genuine love for the craft of performance and physical transformation. Number 9. The infamous Cockney accent. One aspect of the film has been debated, mocked, and affectionately remembered for decades since its release. Dick Van Dyke's attempt at a Cockney accent as Bert has become legendary for all the wrong reasons. British audiences in particular found his pronunciation baffling and sometimes cringe-worthy, with many calling it one of the worst accents in cinema history despite his otherwise charming and energetic performance throughout the film. Van Dyke himself has spoken openly about the accent over the years, acknowledging with good humor that it missed the mark completely. He has blamed his dialect coach, who he later discovered was Irish rather than English, for steering him in the wrong direction from the very beginning. Despite his best efforts during filming, the authentic sound of working-class London simply eluded him throughout the entire production, no matter how hard he tried to get it right. Remarkably, the questionable accent hasn't diminished the film's legacy or Van Dyke's popularity in the role one bit. If anything, it has become an endearing quirk that fans joke about lovingly while still celebrating his wonderful performance and incredible dance sequences. The accent proves that sometimes technical imperfections can become beloved parts of a movie's charm rather than fatal flaws that undermine the entire viewing experience for audiences. Number 10. The long word wasn't made up. One of the most memorable moments in the film is the song built around an impossibly long word that delighted children everywhere. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious became an instant cultural phenomenon, with kids around the world attempting to pronounce it and sing along to the catchy tune. But contrary to popular belief, the Sherman brothers didn't actually invent this tongue-twisting piece of vocabulary entirely from scratch. Variations of the word had existed in American slang and wordplay for decades before the movie was ever made. The songwriters adapted and refined it, shaping it into the specific version that audiences know and love today. They crafted an entire musical number around the concept, turning a linguistic curiosity into one of the most recognizable songs in cinema history that still delights audiences of all ages many decades later. The song's success even led to a lawsuit that made headlines in the entertainment industry. Another songwriter claimed ownership of a similar word used in an earlier composition and took legal action against the studio seeking damages. The case was eventually dismissed when evidence showed the word predated both versions, existing in various forms long before either song was written. The legal battle only added to the mystique surrounding this unforgettable and iconic piece of movie musical history. Number 11. A song inspired by medicine. Great art often comes from unexpected places, and one of the film's most beloved songs originated from a simple family moment. When songwriter Robert Sherman arrived at work one day, he shared a story about his son Jeffrey, who had just received the oral polio vaccine. When asked how the medicine tasted, the boy replied that it was fine because they had put it on a sugar cube to make it easier to swallow. That casual anecdote sparked immediate inspiration. Sherman and his brother Richard realized they had stumbled onto a perfect concept for a song about making difficult things more pleasant. They developed the idea into A Spoonful of Sugar, capturing the essence of Mary Poppins' philosophy that a positive attitude can transform any mundane or unpleasant task into something enjoyable and even fun for children and adults alike. The song became one of the most iconic moments in the entire movie, perfectly encapsulating the character's magical approach to life and childcare. It demonstrated how the Sherman brothers drew from real life to create music that resonated with audiences on a deeply personal level that felt authentic. A chance comment from a child about medicine turned into a timeless musical number that generations have sung along to, showing how creativity can transform the most ordinary everyday moments into something truly extraordinary. Number 12. Groundbreaking visual effects. The sequences where live actors interact with animated characters remain stunning, even by modern standards. But in 1964, achieving this seamless blend required groundbreaking technical innovation that pushed the boundaries of what cinema could accomplish. The filmmakers used a technique called the sodium vapor process, which allowed them to combine real performers with hand-drawn animation in ways never seen before on such an ambitious scale. The process involved filming actors against screens lit with sodium vapor lights, which produced a specific yellow color that cameras could isolate with remarkable precision. This created clean separations between the live-action footage and the backgrounds, enabling animators to insert their colorful cartoon worlds behind the performers without visible edges or jarring transitions that would break the illusion for audiences. Sequences like the Jolly Holiday number showcased this technology beautifully, with Julie Andrews and Dick Van Dyke dancing alongside animated penguins and carousel horses in a vibrant fantasy landscape. The technical team won the Academy Award for Best Visual Effects, recognizing their achievement in creating movie magic that audiences had never experienced before. This innovation paved the way for future films that would blend live action and animation, establishing techniques that influenced filmmakers and visual effects artists for decades to come. Number 13. Kids' reactions were real. Capturing authentic emotion from child actors is one of filmmaking's greatest challenges. Director Robert Stevenson employed a clever technique to ensure the young performers delivered genuine reactions on camera. He deliberately kept Karen Dautrice and Matthew Garber uninformed about certain props and surprises they would encounter during filming, preserving their natural wonder and spontaneity for key scenes throughout the production. One memorable example involves the medicine bottle that changes color with each pour. The children had no idea the liquid would transform before their eyes, so their amazed expressions were completely real and unrehearsed. This approach required careful planning and coordination among the adult cast and crew members, who had to maintain the secrets while still preparing the young actors for their scenes without revealing what would happen. The technique paid off throughout the entire movie. Moments of discovery and delight feel authentic because they genuinely were, with the children experiencing the magic alongside their characters in real time. This directorial choice strengthened the emotional core of the film, making the fantastical elements more believable through the honest reactions of its youngest cast members. It remains a testament to Stevenson's understanding that real surprise creates far more powerful cinema than rehearsed performance ever could. Number 14. Animatronic Robin Surprise. Long before computer-generated imagery became standard in Hollywood productions, filmmakers relied on practical effects to bring impossible moments to life. The robin that perches on Mary Poppins' finger during the early scenes represented a significant technical achievement for its time. Rather than training a real bird to perform on cue, which would have been unreliable and extremely time-consuming, the production team created one of the earliest animatronic creatures used in a major motion picture. The mechanical bird was designed to move realistically enough to fool audiences watching on the big screen. Its subtle head movements and lifelike appearance required careful engineering and artistry working together in harmony. Puppeteers controlled the robin just out of frame, synchronizing its motions with Julie Andrews' performance to create the illusion of a real animal, responding to her singing and gentle touch. This practical approach added a tactile quality to the scene that digital effects sometimes struggle to replicate even today. The robin felt present in the moment because it physically existed on set, interacting with the actress in real space in real time. Such innovations demonstrated the production team's commitment to creating believable magic through craftsmanship and ingenuity rather than shortcuts. The animatronic robin remains a charming example of old Hollywood's resourcefulness and dedication to practical movie magic. Number 15. Andrews whistled for the bird. Creating the perfect bird song for the robin scene proved more difficult than anyone anticipated during post-production. Sound engineers tried multiple recordings of actual birds, but none captured the magical quality the filmmakers envisioned for this important moment. Take after take was rejected, as producers searched for something that matched the enchanting tone of the scene and Julie Andrews' ethereal performance. The solution came from an unexpected source. Julie Andrews herself offered to try recording the bird whistle, and her attempt was exactly what the scene needed to feel complete. Her musical background gave her the ability to produce a whistle that felt both natural and otherworldly, perfectly complementing the magical atmosphere of Mary Poppins communicating with the little creature perched delicately on her finger. The final recording became one of those small details that audiences rarely consciously notice but absolutely feel on an emotional level. The whistle blends seamlessly with the scene, enhancing the sense that Mary Poppins possesses a genuine connection with nature and all living things around her. It stands as a charming example of how talent can solve unexpected production problems in creative ways. Andrews contributed far more to this film than just her acting and singing, leaving her mark on details both large and small throughout the entire production. Number 16. Stand-in got a cameo. Working as a stand-in is typically a thankless job that happens entirely behind the scenes, far from the spotlight and audience attention. These performers help set up lighting and camera angles while the stars rest between takes, rarely appearing in the finished film at all. But for Larry Thomas, who served as Julie Andrews' stand-in throughout production, a small moment of on-screen recognition found its way into the final cut of the movie. During one sequence, Thomas can be spotted briefly blowing a kiss to Bert from a window as he performs on the street below. The moment was small enough to escape the cutting room floor, but meaningful enough for those who know the story behind it. For someone who spent months in the shadows helping make others look good, this fleeting appearance became a lasting memento of her contribution to the production. Such moments happen more often than audiences realize in classic Hollywood films. Background performers and crew members occasionally slip into frame, and editors choose to keep these authentic touches rather than cutting them out of the final version. Thomas' cameo represents the collaborative spirit of filmmaking, where even those working behind the scenes can leave their mark on a beloved classic. It serves as a reminder that movies are made by large teams of dedicated people whose contributions often go unnoticed and uncelebrated by the general public. Number 17. Bonuses for facing heights. Child actors face unique challenges that adult performers don't always anticipate or fully understand. For young Matthew Garber, who played Michael Banks, one particular fear threatened to complicate several important scenes throughout the production. He was terrified of heights, which posed a significant problem for a movie featuring rooftop sequences, floating nannies, and chimney sweep adventures high above the London skyline. Director Robert Stevenson developed a creative solution to help the young actor push through his fear and deliver the performances they needed. Each time Garber successfully completed a scene that required him to be elevated or appear high off the ground, he received a small cash bonus as a reward for his bravery. This incentive system gave him concrete motivation to face his anxieties and keep working through the difficult moments that frightened him. The approach worked remarkably well throughout the entire shoot. Garber delivered convincing performances in scenes that genuinely scared him, and audiences never sensed his discomfort while watching the finished film on screen. This behind-the-scenes accommodation shows how productions must adapt to their actors' individual needs, especially when working with children who may struggle with aspects of filmmaking that adults take for granted. It adds a human and somewhat humorous dimension to the movie's creation that fans rarely hear about. Number 18. A milestone Oscar run. When award season arrived in 1965, the film dominated the Academy Award nominations in spectacular fashion. The movie received an astounding 13 nominations across numerous categories, making it one of the most recognized films of its era and a major force throughout the entire award season. This remarkable showing demonstrated just how thoroughly the production had impressed critics, industry professionals, and voting members of the Academy. The wins were equally impressive when the ceremony concluded. The film took home 5 Oscars, including Best Actress for Julie Andrews in her debut film role, Best Film Editing, Best Original Music Score, Best Original Song for Chim Chim Cherry, and Best Visual Effects for the groundbreaking animation techniques. Each award recognized a different aspect of the production's excellence, from performance to technical innovation to musical composition. This award's recognition cemented the movie's place in cinema history and validated the creative risks the filmmakers had taken throughout production. For Julie Andrews, the Best Actress win launched her into the highest tier of Hollywood stardom practically overnight. For Walt Disney, the honors represented the culmination of his 20-year quest to bring this story to the screen in a way that would earn both popular success and critical acclaim from the industry he had helped shape throughout his legendary career. Number 19. Songs carry emotional weight. Musical numbers in family films often serve as entertaining distractions or simple showcases for performers to display their talents. But the songs in this production function differently, carrying significant emotional and thematic weight that deepens the story being told. Rather than interrupting the narrative, each musical moment advances character development and reinforces the movie's core messages about family, compassion, and finding joy in everyday life. Feed the Bird stands as perhaps the most emotionally resonant song in the entire film, and it was reportedly Walt Disney's personal favorite composition. The gentle melody and poignant lyrics about the old bird woman convey themes of kindness and seeing value in those society overlooks. Meanwhile, Let's Go Fly a Kite transforms from a simple activity into a powerful symbol of a father reconnecting with his children and rediscovering what truly matters in life after losing his way. The Sherman Brothers crafted these songs with careful attention to their narrative purpose within the larger story. Each number emerges organically from the characters' emotional states and moves the plot forward while entertaining audiences simultaneously. This sophisticated approach to musical storytelling helped elevate the film beyond typical family entertainment into something that resonates on a deeper level with viewers of all ages. The songs remain beloved not just for their catchy melodies, but for the genuine emotions and meaningful themes they express throughout the story. Number 20. Box office blockbuster. When the film premiered in August 1964, audiences responded with overwhelming enthusiasm that exceeded even the studio's optimistic projections. The movie became the highest-grossing release of the year in the United States and Canada, drawing families to theaters in unprecedented numbers throughout its theatrical run. Lines wrapped around city blocks as word of mouth spread about the magical experience waiting inside cinema auditoriums across the country. The financial success translated into enormous profits for Walt Disney Studios at a critical time for the company. The revenue helped fund future ambitious projects and proved that live-action family entertainment could compete with any genre in Hollywood when executed with creativity and care. Disney's gamble on blending animation with live-action performance had paid off beyond anyone's expectations, establishing a template the studio would continue to explore in subsequent decades. Beyond the raw numbers, the commercial triumph demonstrated the film's broad cultural appeal across demographics and regions. Parents brought their children, who would grow up to bring their own children years later when the movie was re-released to theaters. This multi-generational success established the foundation for the film's enduring legacy and cemented its status as a landmark achievement in family entertainment. The box office performance proved that audiences craved this kind of magical storytelling and were willing to return again and again to experience it. Number 21. Critics call it Disney's peak. Over the decades since its release, film historians and critics have repeatedly circled back to one conclusion about the movie's significance. Many consider it to be the crowning achievement of Walt Disney's entire career, representing the perfect fusion of his creative vision, technical innovation, and storytelling ambition. This assessment has only grown stronger as time has passed, and the film's influence on cinema has become clearer to scholars and filmmakers alike. The production brought together every element that Disney had spent his life mastering and perfecting. Animation, live-action performance, groundbreaking visual effects, and memorable music all combined into a seamless whole that demonstrated what the medium could achieve in the right hands. No other project in the studio's history managed to balance so many complex elements while remaining accessible and emotionally engaging to audiences of all ages and backgrounds around the world. This reputation wasn't manufactured by marketing departments or nostalgic fans looking back with rose-colored glasses. It emerged organically from the film's continued relevance and the respect it commands among serious students of cinema history. When discussions turn to Walt Disney's greatest accomplishments, the conversation inevitably includes this magical tale of a nanny who changed one family's life. The film stands as a testament to what happens when visionary leadership meets exceptional talent and unlimited creative ambition working together toward a common goal. Number 22. Characters added for the film. Adapting beloved books for the screen always requires creative decisions about what to keep, what to change, and what to invent entirely. The filmmakers made significant alterations to P.L. Travers' source material, expanding some characters and reimagining others to serve the needs of cinematic storytelling. These changes proved controversial with the author, but essential to the movie's success with general audiences unfamiliar with the original books. Bert represents perhaps the most significant expansion from page to screen in the entire adaptation. In Travers' books, the character appears only briefly and plays a minor role in the overall narrative. The filmmakers transformed him into a central figure, a warm and charming presence who serves as the audience's guide into Mary Poppins' magical world. Dick Van Dyke's portrayal gave the character depth, humor, and an emotional connection to the story that the books never provided. Other supporting characters received similar treatment throughout the adaptation process. The Banks family dynamics were adjusted, and certain magical adventures were invented specifically for the film rather than drawn from the source material. These creative liberties allowed the story to flow better on screen and gave actors opportunities to shine in ways that pure faithfulness to the text might not have permitted. The result was a film that honored the spirit of the books while creating something distinctly new and cinematic that worked for the medium. Number 23. Musical innovation beyond the norm. During the golden age of Hollywood musicals, songs often served as spectacular interruptions rather than integral story elements. Performers would break into elaborate numbers that showcased their talents but did little to advance the plot or deepen character development. This film took a different approach that would influence how future filmmakers thought about integrating music into narrative storytelling for decades to come. Every song in the movie emerges from specific emotional moments and serves clear dramatic purposes within the larger story being told. When Mary Poppins sings about spoons full of sugar, she's teaching the children a philosophy of life, not just performing for the audience. When Mr. Banks joins his family to fly a kite at the film's conclusion, the song expresses his genuine transformation from distant workaholic to engaged father, rather than simply providing a cheerful ending. The Sherman Brothers understood that great movie songs should feel inevitable, rather than inserted for entertainment value alone. Their compositions grew organically from character and situation, making the musical numbers feel like natural extensions of the story, rather than breaks from it. This approach elevated the entire production and demonstrated that family musicals could achieve artistic sophistication without sacrificing accessibility or entertainment value. The film's musical integration became a model that later productions would study and attempt to replicate with varying degrees of success. Number 24. A bigger book series. Most audiences know only the version of Mary Poppins that exists on screen, unaware of the extensive literary universe that inspired the adaptation. P.L. Travers wrote 8 books featuring the magical nanny between 1934 and 1988, creating a rich tapestry of adventures that the single film could only begin to explore. The movie draws primarily from the first book while incorporating select elements from its sequels, leaving vast amounts of material untouched. The tone of Travers' original stories differs significantly from Disney's interpretation in ways that surprised many readers who discovered the books after watching the film. Her Mary Poppins is sharper, more mysterious, and occasionally harsh with the children in her care. The whimsy that defines the movie is balanced in the books by darker undercurrents and a more ambiguous portrayal of the titular character's nature and motivations that Travers felt the adaptation ignored. This literary depth has fueled continued interest in the source material among fans seeking more adventures beyond what the film provided. The 2018 sequel Mary Poppins Returns drew from later books in the series, introducing new generations to stories that had waited decades for screen adaptation. For those curious about the character's fuller history and the author's original vision, the book series offers a fascinating counterpoint to the beloved movie that sparked their interest in this magical nanny and her extraordinary adventures. Number 25. Legacy that still soars. More than 6 decades after its premiere, the film's influence continues to ripple through popular culture in remarkable ways. The story has been adapted into a successful stage musical that has played to audiences worldwide in London's West End and on Broadway. The 2018 sequel brought the characters back to the big screen for new generations, while countless references in television, music, and other films keep the memory alive for those who grew up with the original classic. The movie's impact extends beyond entertainment into the broader cultural consciousness of multiple generations. Phrases like "practically perfect in every way" and songs like "supercalifragilisticexpialidocious" have become embedded in everyday language. Parents who watched the film as children now share it with their own kids, creating chains of memory and affection that span half a century and show no signs of weakening anytime soon. What makes this endurance remarkable is how the film's core themes remain relevant despite changing times and shifting cultural values. The story's emphasis on imagination, family connection, and finding magic in ordinary life speaks to something universal in human experience that transcends generations. Mary Poppins arrived with the East Wind in 1964 and has never truly left, continuing to enchant audiences who discover her for the first time while remaining a treasured companion for those who have loved her for a lifetime. From Walt Disney's 20-year quest to secure the rights to Julie Andrews' star-making performance, these secrets reveal the extraordinary effort behind a film that seemed to arrive by magic. Technical innovations, personal sacrifices, and creative battles all shaped the production in ways that audiences never saw. Understanding what went into making this classic only deepens the appreciation for what it achieved, transforming family cinema and setting standards that filmmakers still aspire to reach 6 decades later. If you enjoyed discovering these hidden stories, hit that like button and subscribe for more behind-the-scenes secrets from cinema's greatest classics. Let us know in the comments which secret surprised you the most, and tell us if you'll be watching Mary Poppins again with fresh eyes.